And you talk about like this Wei guy being involved in organized crime. Tell us a bit about that. What kind of guy is Trudeau taking almost $1 million from? Sorry, Trudeau's family foundation, not him.
Well, the types of guys that are in this Chinese officials association that he's representing, it's called the Chinese Trade something or other. There's so many of these different names. I can search his website. And on the one hand, we see, honorary board member Jack Ma. We all know who he is. The show's not about Jack Ma. You could argue that a brilliant business person, but another member I found was the alleged boss of a Hong Kong-based triad that would be one of the people I write about in this book that's very connected to many nefarious activities. And we believe, the patterns are tasked by the Chinese Communist Party to fulfill objectives and thus allowed to do their international criminal activity. So that's on the board. This person, Wei, shows up in the photo. So we can surmise that in Canada, he comes from Anhui province. There are, at least from the Canadian police perspective, he's involved in the biggest illegal mansion casino ever discovered. Police said, we believe proceeds from this activity can fund drug trafficking. We believe that high-level Chinese officials are flying in to gamble at this casino. We believe Canadian politicians are being invited to visit these decadent quarters. We believe prostitution at a high level is occurring in this home. There are guns found inside. Cryptocurrency could be involved. So you can see a very complex set of nefarious criminal activity, all in a big mansion. Politicians from China, politicians from Canada, and organized crime investigations. They didn't find any drugs inside, but they did say, we believe proceeds from the casino can fund international drug trafficking. That's what my sources say, and they said directly, at a press conference, we're worried that drugs could be connected to this.
Wow. So I think I'd like to revisit something that we had talked about on our previous podcast, because not all of our listeners have listened to that, which is like these casinos are basically involved in this sort of ring of crime that involves trafficking drugs to Canada, weapons, human trafficking. Can you talk a bit about that for a few minutes, just so our viewers kind of get some background on just how much of this, Chinese-based triad crime is going on in Canada?
Sure. I'll start with the illegal mansion casinos, then work my way back to the source, which would be Macau casinos and Hong Kong triads. So what I've written about in my book and discovered was that incredible money laundering was occurring in BC government casinos. It was known that the biggest so-called whale gamblers traveling in from China were known drug trafficking suspects to international agencies in the United States, Canada, Australia. And yet government casino officials hungered for the cash coming in so much that they turned a complete blind eye. They even built government casino rooms specifically for these whale gamblers traveling in from China. This activity helps the drug gangs that are connected to China and directed from China, but based in Vancouver, launder their drug cash, cycle it back through the gamblers to China, get that cycle going. But we have illegal casinos which are directly connected and run by the same people that are funneling that cash into the government casinos. Now, what happens in the illegal casinos is we can see, as I've said, the police allege prostitution is occurring inside, human trafficking of young females from China and Hong Kong. The money, the proceeds are both the laundering of drug cash, and they fund and facilitate more production of drug cash. So we're adding that illegal casino network into the legal casino network in BC that was exposed in the money laundering inquiry. And the element I'm adding, the new element that my sources indicate, is Chinese state-sponsored crime. We have gangsters that are tasked to run these casinos. They can make their money as long as they are also, whining and dining Canadian politicians who will visit, as long as they are involved in interference activity that benefits the Chinese Communist Party. So it's a big web of what can just be called state-sponsored crime and corruption, in some ways meant to weaken and really slice and dice our democracies and capture our politicians in the West.